Good afternoon, everybody. Time to get a video in before it's time to go work until midnight again because I have to babysit for filming and it's Cyber Monday, so it's going to be a long night. But regardless, thoughts that have been crossing my mind. What is another major aspect seen amongst all of us in the narcissistic abuse recovery community, specifically those of us that endured narcissistic parents? And there's a lot of common themes, but the one I want to talk about today, obviously you've seen the title, is how the narcissistic parent, particularly the boomer parent, wants to plan your life for you. And I've spoken, in little detail in this and other videos. The narcissistic boomer parent sees you as property, as I and others have talked about at length, that when you're raised by a narcissistic parent, you're expected to act like an adult as a child, but also you're never allowed to grow up. In other words, they always feel entitled to make your decisions, particularly major life decisions, for you. And you are just a pawn in the narc boomer game. Now, what is the narc boomer game? Keeping up with the Joneses. Who are the Joneses? Why? Other baby boomers in that local area. See, to the narcissistic boomer parent, their world is very small, as it is with most narcissists, because, they're trying to be the queen or the king of wherever they live. And of course, that's by definition because they're there, the greatest place in the world and where everybody wants to be. And why would anybody want to leave, no matter how shitty it's become? But it doesn't become shitty because it's forever frozen in time to the boomers' heyday, as is the whole world. And we'll get into why boomer nostalgia is holding up progress in another video. I almost did that one today, but that'll be another time. So, we've all heard this infamous saying from narcissistic parents: you're an extension of me. In other words, you're just a pawn for them to play keeping up with the Joneses with. Another way for them to get validation and supply, going like, wow, look what my kid did. It's no different than, again, your property. It's no different than, look at my stuff. Look at my Gucci bag, look at my Mercedes, kind of thing. Because with the narcissistic boomer parent, the only opinion that matters to them is other boomers they grew up with, because mentally they never left high school. To them, and this is very, very prominent where I grew up, high school is life and life is high school. Or did I get that backwards? But you get the point. So it's a never-ending popularity contest with the same people whose opinion matters because they happen to be born in the same school district. That makes them special. I don't know. They've never been able to explain it to me. They get very angry when I challenge it because it basically challenges their whole worldview and, reason for existing. But that is what they're all about. And this becomes very prominent once you reach adulthood because they've planned your life for you. Like where you're supposed to go to school, what you're supposed to major in, where you're supposed to work, and most prominently to, never leave their control, to stay in that area, to thus provide them with narcissistic supply, but also, to be used as a tool in their endless game of keeping up with the Joneses to achieve that, adoration similar to that of being homecoming queen. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm an INFJ. I'm a loner, so forever searching for that one blue rose. It exists, damn it. It's out there somewhere. It exists. I know it exists, and I'll get into another video of how I know it exists based on what happened to me the day I almost died back in the spring of 2013 when Lilith appeared. But Lilith wasn't alone, although the other person, while I know female, her identity remains a mystery to me, beyond the fact that she too was dying at the time and presumably didn't. But no more sidetrack. So that you'll see this concept in these, estranged parent videos where, the estranged parents like, oh, I had so much plans for my kids, and I wanted them to go into this field because it provides money. The boomer will tip their hand always for that, because money equals this and money equals that, and they should be driving this car, because it's all about them rubbing it into the other boomer's face, like, look at what my kid has, which means I'm better. See, I did a better job than you, which is why they'll force you perhaps into careers that you despise simply for the money that goes along with it. You may not be motivated by money. Certain careers that many would say have a lot of valor would be like, no to the narcissistic baby boomer, for one of two reasons. Either one, it's not a high, a six-figure job, and some of you aren't going to like this, but I'm going to say this even as a Lilithan, so it should carry a little weight anyway. To guys out there, any woman you're trying to get involved with, if her main concern is if you make six figures, run. I run. Well, I do shut down, but yeah, run. So, yeah, it's a narcissistic sign. It's a red flag, a big one. I have no time for perpetual teenagers, no matter what they look like. High school, get it? Algorithm. But, so, with the boomer, that's the money's the big one. But the other one would be perhaps you chose a career that may even make money, but it forces you to relocate away from the boomer because perhaps that career doesn't exist in the area where the boomer considers the center of the world, because that's where they reside. Or if you're especially lucky and like me, you chose a career that is, not at the top tier earning wise and requires you to move. Firefighter. No valor in that, no purpose. They don't need them. It's not like it was one of the essential jobs during COVID. It's not like I was still working until they wrongfully expelled me, that is, during the pandemic. Oh, wait, yeah, I was. But, so, that'll be a major focus. They had this all pre-planned for you. It's a big theme with narcissism. To the narcissist, you have no free will. Because how can you know better than them? They know best. They know everything. They're just by definition the best at everything, just by virtue of being them. And they truly believe that. So you're going to have to contend with that aspect. They're going to whine and cry about the plans they had. It's not their plans to make. Obviously there, are reasonable times, parents can step in, or perhaps they don't, because it's Chester County approved in my aspect. Like my wannabe mobster brother, that was considered a acceptable career choice because being Mr. Big Shot in Chester County is all that matters, even in any legal enterprise. He subsequently went to jail, but he was still the golden child. It's that kind of mindset. So understand when you're dealing with the boomer coming at you with their plans and what's right and wrong and what you should do. It's not coming from a rational, logical mind. It's coming from this is what I want, and only what I want matters because I'm me. So don't feel they're going to try to guilt trip you. Don't feel any guilt towards it. Don't think that they have a leg to stand on. It's all out of narcissism. It's all out of pure selfishness on their part. You really want to get on, just going to ask them if they, did exactly what their parents wanted them to do. Most likely they didn't. Most likely not. Most times, parents don't, non-narcissistic parents don't expect their children to follow a specific career unless, of course, they're trying to pass down like a family business or something. But even if they're passing down a family business, you could always pay someone else to run it and just be the owner. That's a thing. That's a thing. So be aware of that. be aware that's what a lot of these estranged parents are going to whine about. They had so much planned, and you were supposed to marry this person and have this many kids, and where are the grandkids? Well, you destroyed the economy, outsourced all the good paying jobs, and sucked up all the resources for yourself. And now everybody's underpaid and overworked and in debt because you tripled the cost of college. I could go on and on in this point, but nevertheless, bottom line is, you took everything for yourself. You still demand more. You still demand to remain in the seats of power, even though you're getting old and demented, like President Grandpa Simpson or Senator Turtle Boy. Two demented boomers on both parties. So, in leadership positions, but nevertheless, you still know best, and you decide what's real and what's not. Statistics and facts and all that doesn't matter because it doesn't coincide with the reality you've created. And that is another point. I was about to end this, but I got to add this point. Boomers often push you into careers that they think are so great, but they'll have no knowledge about. That happened to me when they pushed me in the golf course management. Their knowledge of it was all, well, this is what I thought it would be. They were never in the field. They didn't know anybody in the field, but it was all, well, I thought it'd be like this, so it must be like this. No, and that they're the masters of just making shit up. And there's no convincing them that what they decided was real based on what they want to be real isn't real, because you're dealing with a narcissistic mind. So be aware of that. Don't try to, appease them. There's no appeasing a narcissist. They always want more. And again, I'm gonna say it again. They're not coming from a place of logic. Me, mine, now. The me generation. They always were. They will be until the last one finally falls. Please like and subscribe and help the channel grow, and send this video to anyone who you think it would help, because the more we spread this knowledge, the more we can fight back with logic and truth against, well, narcissism, greed, and, for lack of a better term, boomerism, which is synonymous with status quoism, which is synonymous with neoliberal corporatism, which must end.